So Michael decided to buy a TV marked $3,000. He pays 20% deposit and the balance over 3 years, with interest charged at 15% on the balance. So find the deposit paid. So he paid 20% as a deposit. So how do we find that?
You find 20% of $3,000.
Yeah, and how do we do that?
3,000 times 0.2 or 20 over 100.
Yeah, perfect. And that should give you
$600.
$600. Perfect.
Yeah.
And calculate the balance owing. So how would we do that? So first of all, what is the balance owing?
It's not sure.
So the balance owing is the balance owing after he pays his deposit.
Oh, okay.
It's the amount he's got to pay back over time.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 3,000 minus 600, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's $2,400. Right.
Okay.
So with interest charged at 15% on the balance. So how would we calculate the interest?
Would you do 2,400 times 3 times 15 over 100?
Yep, so 2,400. So the interest is equal to 2,400 times
3.
Yep, times 3 times
0.15.
0.15. Perfect. And so that's going to be equal to, if I get out my calculator, $1,080. And so find the total amount owed after the deposit has been paid. So then that's going to be 2,400, because that's how much he had balance owing,
Yep.
plus the amount of interest he pays, plus 1,080 is going to be equal to 3,480, right?
I did that, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yep. Right. And how do we get his monthly repayment?
You divide 3,480.
Yep, and we divide it by what?
36.
So 3,480 divided by 36 is equal to $96.67. We round up to the nearest 2 decimal places because we're working with money, so we're going to have cents, right? All right. All right, does that make sense?
Yep.
And so did we finish this topic?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the topic 7.
Perfect. All right, so consumer arithmetic, home loans. So obviously this is really important because you'll actually need to use this sort of maths when you are getting a home loan, right? Yeah. So financial maths is really good because it's really easy to see where you can use it and where it needs to be used, because obviously everyone gets credit cards or home loans, or you own a bank account and you earn interest on the money you put in, things like that. So this is all really important maths. A little bit more applicable to everyday life than most of the stuff we cover. All right. So Andrew buys a block of land for $300,000. He borrows 80% of the purchase price from a credit union which charges 13.5% per annum on the amount owing. So how would we find this?
I'm not sure.
So we're going to use the simple or compound interest formula.
Compound.
Yeah, compound interest. All right, so what would that, oh, so first of all, we have to find the deposit. So he borrows 80% of the purchase price from a credit union that charges 13.5% on the amount owing. Find the deposit. So he borrows 80% of the purchase price. So how much did he initially pay as a deposit?
20%.
Yeah, so he'd pay 20%, right?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be the amount left over from the 80 that he's borrowing.
Yeah.
So how are we going to get that?
Is it 300,000 times 20 over 100?
Times 0.2?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that gives us, that should give us 6,000, right?
Yeah.
$6,000. What is the amount of interest charged per year on the balance owing? So that is per year on the balance owing. If, one second, I just want to check to see if we've covered, if we actually have covered compound interest yet. No, we have.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. So what is the amount of interest charged per year on the balance owing? So this on the amount owing, so that's going to change each year. So here it says assume simple interest.
Okay.
So what is the amount of interest charged per year on the balance owing? Well, in that case, it's going to be interest is equal to 6,000 times 1 for n, right?
Yeah.
Times 13.5 over 100.
Yeah.
And that should give you a value. Times 13.5 over 100. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. Sorry, that's not quite right because that's on the that's the deposit. We have to do the amount he's got owing, right?
Minus 6,000.
Yeah. So that'll be 300,000 minus 6,000 times 1 for n and times 13 over 5. Sorry, 13.5 over 100, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we put that into our calculator, and that should give you the interest he earns. Well, he has to pay back over 1 year, right?
Yeah.
All right. Can I actually put that into your calculator?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
All right. Just let me know what value you get.
320, 32,400.
32,400.
Yeah.
So that's how much interest you'll have to pay in 1 year.
Yeah.
So if $2,900 is paid per month, how much of the balance is paid during the first year? So how do you think we do this sort of question?
No,
So he's going to pay 2,900 every month to try and pay this back. And they want to know how much of the initial balance have we paid back. So first of all, let's calculate how much he pays in a year, right?
Yeah.
So how would we find out how much he's paid in a year?
2,900 times 12.
Times 12. Perfect. And what does that equal to?
34,800.
34,800.
Yeah.
So from here, how much interest does he pay? Well, actually, yeah, how much interest does he pay?
We minus it.
Yeah, what do we minus?
32.
Well, yeah. Well, first of all, how much interest is he actually going to be paying each year?
Um,
Have a look at the previous question.
32,400.
Yeah, so he's paying 32,400 in interest, right?
Yeah.
So he has an initial deposit, and he pays 6,000 off straight away.
Yeah.
And then every year he's going to be charged interest on the amount he's got owing, right?
Yeah.
And the amount of interest is 32,400.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in a year he can only pay 34,800. So how much is left over of the payments that he's making after we take out the interest?
So we minus
Yes.
32,000.
Yeah, so we go 34,800 minus 32,400. And what do we get?
2,400.
Perfect. 2,400. So that means this is the amount that's paid of the original balance after the year, right? Yeah. So even though he's paying 32,400 off of his home loan, it's only 2,400 that actually gets taken out of the balance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Have you gotten, can I get you to write this down?
Yeah.
And let me know once you've got it down.